your thoughts on what a Harris presidency could mean for U.S. energy, in particular, those LNG exports?
Well, listen, Democrat energy policy has been schizophrenic, unfeasible, unreasonable, actually creates a lot of pollution because not China is polluting into the same ocean and in the same atmosphere with increasing coal production. And it's not a clean coal, it's quite dirty. So, and also create destabilization around the world. We and our allies have started being dependent on adversaries around the world. Russia making a ton of money funding bloodshed, and we're destroying domestic production. Alaska pipelines at the half capacity. We not allow new energy and pipelines here. We come in, after natural gas. And then there is no, there's the challenges. These people live like in the la-la land. Economy doesn't work with a light switch. And that there is, it's like unicorns, they're talking about, oh, we'll have all this type of energy. They don't exist. We don't have a technology to accumulate even some of this renewable type of energy. So we need to have discussion. There is innovation, there is, economy. Maybe, we could have some wind in Iowa, we can have solar in Arizona and build transmission line. That's a discussion we should have. We need to have all types of energy. We need to look, maybe we'll have all fusion, run on stars. This is a healthy discussion, but we're subsidizing, failed enterprises with American dollars that some executives getting rich, and American people are getting more and more poor with inflation and all consequences and have wars around the world. Energy policy is one of the biggest failure of Biden-Harris administration that continues from Obama, and with you saw the billions of dollars were given to corrupt enterprises. It's truly corruption what they're doing right now, and they try and take down industry through the boards. They're using different tools and mechanisms through SEC, putting this unreasonable standards, auditing companies to death, and then companies of their friends that know that they go bankrupt, they give them a bunch of money. So this is true corruption.
Well, and, also, too, I want to pick up on, you said several things there, but back to that kind of energy component of your comments. The Wall Street Journal editorial board did, put out that, and this is their opinion in a piece this morning, that, look, the closest that Dana Bash got to challenging and really pinning her down on something was the issue of fracking. And then they also say, look, a fracking ban plays poorly in Pennsylvania. This is politics. She needs Pennsylvania. But she notably did not disavow any of the Biden administration's green mandates and regulations. A piece of that is the EV industry. Now, GM has delayed their battery factory in your home state. That's the latest blow to that market. Ford, GM, they've either delayed or they have now canceled several electric vehicle models. Consumers don't seem to want to transition to EVs. They're certainly not doing it fast enough. So she flip-flopped on this. Her campaign now says she does not support the EV mandate, and that remains consistent with her method to stay strategically ambiguous, Congresswoman. But we're seeing that the Biden-Harris policy play out in Indiana, and it's not helping your state. It is not creating jobs. It's actually hurting jobs.
Oh, listen, of course, I just said, we subsidized Russian oligarch. Enerdell was in my Indiana, got over $100 million, and Russian oligarch that got that battery plant for nothing. And it went on nuclear plants in Russia. That was kind of interesting, right? So the American taxpayers, it didn't help American jobs. It helped some executives that pretty shady and give these contributions to some of these Democrats. And we really have to have energy policy, not politics. It's created a lot of problems. But I'm telling you, whatever they say what people want to hear to win. But regardless what they do behind their back, they're very deceitful how they put policies to take down companies of competitors of their donors. We need to understand is these people are not about clean energy or clean earth. No. This is about money and corruption that happen. And there is so much money right now made through all of these different climate funds that China is subsidizing on top of it around the world, that really, it's just unbelievable. And it's really something that has to be looked by Congress, where we're given all of this money. And because the country is going bankrupt. So they do a lot of deceitful tool and use an agency behind the back to take down industry. This is a pure definition of socialism, where the government start controlling markets and means of production by hike. This is truly socialism is. And they advance, unfortunately. So at least Bernie is honest. You know, he is like, I'm socialist, and he's standing. I might appreciate that. You know, but these people, hypocrites and liars, and they're lying to the people. And really, they need to be called out.
Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, thank you for being here this Friday. We appreciate it.